Hello friends, this is again a revision time for hydraulics and pneumatics. In this video, we'll discuss about the unit 4 which deals with hydraulic machines. This unit carries a 30 marks in which we'll be getting around 20 marks theory and 10 marks problem. So hydraulic machines, it also known as hydraulic turbines. So first we'll discuss what do you mean by a hydraulic machine. You know that machine is a device which converts one form of energy into another form of energy. So hydraulic machine is the machine which converts hydraulic energy into a mechanical energy. Hydraulic energy means the energy possessed by the water into mechanical energy, which is again converted into the electrical energy. And as I told you, hydraulic machine is also known as a turbine, which converts a mechanical energy into a hydraulic energy. The reverse of it is known as a pump. Pump is converting mechanical energy into hydraulic energy, whereas turbine is converting the hydraulic energy into the mechanical energy. So hydraulic turbines, they have a row of blades fitted on the rotating shaft or a rotating plate. Liquid flowing, usually water, when passes through the hydraulic turbine, it strikes the blades of the turbine and makes the shaft to rotate. While flowing through the hydraulic turbine, the velocity and pressure of the water reduces. It results in the development of torque and the rotation of the turbine shaft. Then how the hydraulic turbines are classified? There are 5 main methods of classification of hydraulic turbines. The first one is based on the flow of path. Second is based on the pressure change. Third, based on the head. Fourth, based on the specific speed. And fifth, based on disposition of turbine main shaft. Let us discuss one by one in detail. How the turbines are classified based on the flow of path. So here we have 3 types. One is axial flow turbines, second one is radial flow turbines, and third is mixed flow turbines. In axial flow, the flow path of the liquid is usually parallel to the axis of rotation. Means water flows parallel to the axis of the rotation. The example for this is a Kaplan turbine. In a radial flow, the liquid flows in a plane perpendicular to the axis of rotation. Whereas in mixed flow turbines, significant component of both axial and radial flows. In this type of hydraulic turbines, usually the example for this is a Francis turbine. Water enters in radial direction and exits in the axial direction. The second one is based on the change in pressure. Here we have 2 types. One is impulse turbine, second one is a reaction turbine. In impulse turbine, the pressure of the liquid does not change while flowing through the rotor of the machine. In impulse turbine, pressure change occur only in the nozzles of the machine. Means during the flow, there is no change in the pressure. The pressure conversion takes place only in the nozzle. The example for impulse turbine are, one is a Pelton wheel. In a reaction turbine, the pressure of the liquid changes when it flows through a rotor of the machine. The change in fluid velocity and reduction in its pressure causes a reaction on the turbine blades. This is where form the name reaction turbine. The examples Francis turbine and Kaplan turbines are the examples for reaction turbines. The third one is based on the head. Usually the head of the turbine means the water available, how much height above the base of the head race and tail race. We'll discuss in the next show. Here the difference between them is called as the head. If the height is more than 250 meter, then it is called as high head turbine. Example for this is a Pelton turbine. And if the head is between 60 meter to 250 meter, it is called as a medium head turbine. The example for this is Francis turbine. And if the head available is less than 60 meter, it is called as a low head turbine. And for the example for this is Kaplan turbine. Similarly, based on the specific speed is given by ns is equal to n into root of p divided by h raised to 5 by 4. If the specific speed is between 8.5 to 30, it is called as low specific speed turbine. Example, Pelton turbine. If the specific speed is between 50 and 340, it is called as medium specific speed. Example for this is Francis turbine. And if the specific speed is between 255 and 860, it is called as high specific speed turbines. And the example for this is a Kaplan turbine. And the last classification is based on disposition of turbine main shaft. And under this category, we have a horizontal shaft turbines and the vertical shaft turbines. Position of the turbine main shaft, horizontal or vertical. Now, what is the basic difference between impulse turbine and a reaction turbine? It is usually a 5 marks question. You can write any 5 difference between impulse and the reaction turbine. In impulse turbine, the entire available energy of the water is first converted into kinetic energy. Whereas in reaction turbine, the available energy of the water is not converted from one form to another. In impulse turbine, the water flows through the nozzles and impinges on the buckets, which are fixed on the outer periphery of the wheel. Whereas in reaction turbine, water is guided by the guide blades to flow over the moving vane. In impulse turbine, the water impinges on the buckets with kinetic energy. Whereas in reaction turbine, the water glides over the moving vanes with potential energy. The pressure of the flowing water remains unchanged and equal to the atmospheric pressure in impulse turbine. Whereas the pressure of the flowing water is reduced after gliding over the vane in reaction turbine. In impulse turbine, it is not essential that wheel should run full, whereas in reaction turbine, it is essential that the wheel should always run full and kept full of water. It is possible to regulate the flow without loss in impulse turbine. It is not possible to regulate the flow without loss in reaction turbine. Impulse turbine has more hydraulic efficiency, whereas reaction turbine has relatively less hydraulic efficiency. Impulse turbine operates at high water heads, whereas reaction turbine operates at medium and low heads. Example for impulse turbines is a Pelton wheel, and example for reaction turbines are Francis turbine, Kaplan and propeller turbine, Derry's turbine, tubular turbine, etc. This is the difference between impulse and reaction turbines. So as we are discussing about the hydraulic machines, and you know that the main part of this is, the main function of this hydraulic machine is converting the hydraulic energy into the mechanical and then electrical energy. So how this conversion takes place? This figure gives you a layout of a hydraulic electric power plant. So you can see the dam which stores the water. Dam is a storage for the water, and the top of the water available in the dam is called as head race, or it is also called as a head gate. and through this the water flows through the a penstock, and at this end, at the bottom of here, we are having a turbine, a different types of turbine depending upon the head available, and this turbine is coupled with a generator. So turbine converts the hydraulic energy into mechanical energy, and the generator converts the mechanical energy into the electrical energy, and that electrical energy is supplied to the transformer, and through the transformer the electricity is supplied to the grid and then to the utility, and the water coming out of the turbine is discharged. So that level is called as a tail race. At the top of the bottom is head race, at the bottom of the turbine is called as a tail race. This is a general layout of a hydroelectric power plant. So in this power plant, the different parts. Dam, what it does, it collects the water. Usually dams are built across the river where it can store the water sufficiently. Turbine, as you know, which converts the hydraulic energy into the kinetic energy or a mechanical energy. And generator takes this mechanical energy and converts it into the electrical energy. And transmission lines, they conduct electricity from the hydropower plant to the homes and the business. So these are the main four components of the hydroelectric power plant. So as I told you, we have, depending upon the head, depending upon the speed, we are having different types of the turbines. Here we discuss about the Pelton turbine. Sometimes it is also called as Pelton wheel. So in this Pelton turbine, water strikes the vanes tangentially, and the energy available at the inlet of the turbine is only the kinetic energy. Therefore, it is a tangential flow impulse turbine. In this turbine, the water jets impact on the blades of the turbine, making the wheel to rotate, and it produces the torque and the power. So let us discuss the main parts of the Pelton wheel. The important part is nozzle, which control the amount of water striking the vanes of the runner. Casing is used to prevent splashing of water and plays no part in the power generation. It acts as a cover so that water should not splash out. Runner with bucket is a circular disc on the periphery of which a number of evenly spaced buckets are fixed. And a braking jet used to stop the runner in short time. Braking means whenever you want to stop the turbine, use braking jet to stop immediately. So this figure gives you the different parts. So water is entering through the penstock. You can have a nozzle, and by the spear will control the quantity of water. A jet of water made to impinge on the blades, which are evenly situated, placed on the periphery of the what is called as runner. Casing is there, and you can see the braking nozzle also, which is flowing opposite direction, which can stop the turbine when it is not to be used. So this is a simple diagrammatic view of a Pelton turbine or Pelton wheel. How does this Pelton turbine is working? So water jets emerging strike the buckets at splitter and split into two. The stream flow along the inner curve of the bucket and leave it in the direction opposite to that of the incoming jet. The high pressure water can be obtained from any water body situated at some height or streams of water flowing down to the hills. The change in direction and momentum of water stream produces an impulse on the blades of the wheel of a Pelton turbine. This impulse generates the torque and rotation in the shaft of the Pelton turbine. The horizontal shaft, not more than 2 jets are used, and for vertical shafts, large number of jets, up to 6 jets are used here. The casing is used to prevent splashing of water and to lead the water to the tail race. In case of this Pelton turbine, for the calculation, we are having different types of head. As I told you, the top of the water in the dam is called as head race, and the bottom, the top of the water below the turbine is called as a tail race. The difference between head race and tail race is called as gross head. It is called as HG. And so when it is working, so what happens? Because the water flows through this penstock, through the pipe long, there is a different losses. Mainly, we have the frictional losses. So HF is representing the friction loss when the water flows through the pipe. Then the difference between a gross head and a friction head is called as a net head. Net head is available for a turbine. So this we'll discuss here. Hence gross head, it is defined as the difference between the head race level and the tail race level when the water is not flowing. And net head is defined as the head available at the inlet of the turbine. Net head is also called as the effective head. It is given by the difference between gross head and the loss of head. Therefore, H is equal to Hg minus Hf. Next, another type of turbine is called as a Francis turbine. It is the first hydraulic turbine with a radial inflow. Water flows from outward to inward or inward radial flow turbine. Francis turbine is a reaction turbine as the energy available at the inlet of the turbine is both the kinetic as well as the pressure energy. Water pressure decreases when it passes through the turbine, imparting reaction on the turbine blades, making the turbine to rotate. The important parts of Francis turbines are casing, which encloses completely the runner in an airtight spiral casing. The casing and runner are always full of water. That is the main difference. In case of Pelton wheel, casing should need not be full of water, but whereas in case of Francis turbine, casing should be always full of water. A guide mechanism, which consists of a stationary circular wheel on which a guide vanes are fixed. The guide vanes allow the water to strike the vanes of the runner without the shock at the inlet. The third part is runner, which is a circular wheel on which a series of curved radial guide vanes are fixed. And the fourth part, that is called as a draft tube. It is used for discharging water from outlet of the runner to the tail race. So we will discuss in detail in further types of draft tube afterwards. So this is a Francis turbine, the different parts. You can see the movable vanes, the runner is there, a guide wheel is there, so guide vanes are there. Guide wheel is stationary, guide vanes are also stationary, the runner is rotating and the movable vanes are also rotating. So this view gives an idea of what is called as the Francis turbine. So this is a schematic view of a Francis turbine. You can see here, you can see both the front view as well as the top view. Stationary vanes are there. Runner you can see. You can see from penstock the water is getting in. You can see the runner, the stationary vanes, adjustable guide vanes are also there. Then you can see what is called as scroll, which you see here. So draft tube is at the bottom, tail race also you can see here. So this is a schematic diagram of a Francis turbine. So where this Francis turbine is used? It is usually designed for a wide range of heads and flows. This, along with their high efficiency, has made them the most widely used turbine in the world. The popular or most commonly used turbines are the Francis turbines. Francis type unit cover a head range from 40 meter to 600 meter that is around 130 feet to 2000 feet, and their connected generator output power varies from just a few kilowatts up to 800 megawatt. You can generate the power a very few kilowatts to 800 megawatt. It is available in the wide range. A large Francis turbines are individually designed for each site to operate with the given water supply and water head at the highest possible efficiency, where you can get efficiency up to more than 90%. How does this Francis turbine is working? So it is generally installed with their axis vertical. Water with high pressure or high head enters the turbine through the spiral casing surrounding the guide vanes. The water loses a part of its pressure in the volute to maintain its speed. Then water passes through guide vanes where it is directed to strike the blades on the runner at optimum angles. As the water flows through the runner, its pressure and angular momentum decreases. This reduction imparts reaction on the runner and power is transferred to the turbine shaft. If the turbine is operating at the design conditions, the water leaves the runner in axial direction. Water exits the turbine through the draft tube, which acts as a diffuser and reduces the velocity of the exit water of the flow to recover maximum energy from the flowing water. This is another view of what is called as a Francis turbine. You can see the draft tube at the bottom. You can see the water at the end, and this is how exactly the 3D view of a Francis turbine. The one more important turbine is called as a Kaplan turbine. So Kaplan turbine is an axial flow reaction turbine. The water flows through the runner of the turbine in an axial direction, and the energy at the inlet of the turbine is the sum of kinetic energy plus pressure energy. In an axial flow reaction turbine, the shaft is always vertical. Lower end of the shaft is a hub or a boss. And the hub vanes are attached. If the vanes are adjustable, then it is a Kaplan turbine. If vanes are not adjustable, then it is a propeller turbine. Best suited it is where large quantity of low head water is available. Kaplan turbines are suitable where the head is very low. And Kaplan turbine has a propeller like blades, but works just reverse. Instead of displacing the water axially using shaft power and creating axial thrust, the axial force of water acts on the blades of Kaplan turbine and generating the shaft power. The main parts of Kaplan turbine are scroll casing, guide vane mechanism, hub with vanes, and draft tube. So this is a schematic diagram of a Kaplan turbine. You can see the main shaft, a scroll casing on either side, guide vanes also you can see, the boss is there, tail race is there, runner blades, draft tube, the flow, how the flow is taking place. You can see it is a schematic view of a Kaplan turbine. You can see the 3D view of a what is called as a turbine. Means water flows at the bottom, it is attached with coupled with the generator also. Generator is there, generator attached with a Kaplan turbine. You can see how exactly the Kaplan turbine converts hydraulic energy into mechanical energy, and the generator converts the mechanical energy into electrical energy. The working principle of Kaplan turbine. The working head of water is low, as already you know. So large flow rates are allowed in the Kaplan turbine. The water enters the turbine through the guide vanes, which are aligned such as to give the flow a suitable degree of swirl determined according to the rotor of the turbine. The flow from guide vanes pass through the curved passage which forces the radial flow to axial direction with the initial swirl imparted by the inlet guide vanes, which is now in the form of free vortex. The axial flow of water with a component of swirl applies force on the blades of the rotor and loses its momentum, both linear and angular, producing torque and rotation. The product of these two is a power in the shaft. The scheme for production of hydroelectricity by Kaplan turbine is the same as that of a Francis turbine. Only difference is it can work even at the lower head. Now the important part which is required both in Francis turbine as well as a Kaplan turbine is a draft tube. So draft tube is a pipe of gradually increasing area which connects the outlet of the runner with the tail race. The one end of the draft tube is connected to the outlet of the runner while the other end is submerged below the level of the water in the tail race. It creates a negative head at the outlet of the runner, hence increases the net head of the turbine. It converts a large proportion of rejected kinetic energy into a useful pressure energy. So these are the different types of what is called as a draft tubes. The first one you can see a conical, which is also known as a divergent draft tube. Second one is elbow type draft tube. The third is elbow tube having circular cross section at one end and rectangular cross section at the outlet. And the next one is hydra cone or moody spreading draft tube. We can have one inlet and the two outlets. These are the various forms of draft tubes. So another important effect in this chapter in this turbine is called as cavitation. It is a very serious problem in the turbines. So what is cavitation? It is a phenomenon in which rapid changes of pressure in a liquid lead to the formation of small vapor filled cavities in places where the pressure is relatively low. This formation of air bubbles is usually called as a cavitation. So what are the effects of cavitation? Cavitation degrades the performance of a turbine, resulting in a fluctuating flow rate and discharge pressure. It can also be destructive to the turbine internal components. When a turbine cavitates, the vapor bubbles form in the low pressure region directly behind the rotating impeller vanes. Due to the sudden collapse of vapor bubble, considerable noise and vibrations are also produced. Hence, it is necessary to avoid the cavitation in the turbine. Now we'll discuss about some important terms like penstock, what is penstock, what is anchor block and what is a surge tank. This figure gives you again the complete layout of what is called as a hydropower station. A dam, behind the dam you can see the water reservoir. The top of the water in the dam is called as head race. Then the water coming out of the dam is called as a trash rack. Then we have a what is called as a pressure channel is there. And now it is actually a surge tank is provided. A valve house is there. You can control the flow of water through the valve. Then you have what is called a penstock. From the dam to the runner of the turbine, inlet of the turbine, a penstock is there. And the penstocks are supported by the anchor blocks. And you can see the water at the bottom of the turbine where the hydraulic energy is converted into a mechanical energy. After that, the water is discharged into the tail race to the river and the turbine is coupled with what is called as alternator or powerhouse generator where it is producing the power which is supplied to the grid. So now I want to explain few important terms which are important from the examination point of view. First one is a penstock. Penstock is a gate. It is also known as a sluice or intake structure that controls water flow. or an enclosed pipe that delivers water to hydraulic turbines and sewerage systems. The penstock is made up of steel or RCC. It is equipped with gate. It is designed to withstand high pressure in water flow system. Next one is anchor blocks. These are heavy concrete blocks used for encasing the penstock at different intervals. They hold the penstock firmly on the ground against dynamic forces. They are provided at all vertical and horizontal bends of penstock. The third one is surge tank, which is a storage reservoir fitted at some opening made on the pipeline. Surge tank stores the excess water when the valve is suddenly closed. It controls the pressure variations due to the rapid change in flow in the pipeline. The surge tank also regulates the flow of water to the turbines. So these are the things which you can expect in the examination. You once again go through this video, and if any difficulties, any problems, you always welcome to ask the doubts. Thank you.